powerful, not pitiful, concerning your entry into the paralegal field. But in life, for life in general, each human on the planet has been given giftings by the Lord. Now, whether you understand that or not, it just remains the truth. Okay, it's still true. Whether we accept it or not, it is still the truth. So, let me just fix my hair today. We've all been gifted in different ways. We're not all the same. We are unique individuals. So let me read this verse to you. This is day 32 we're in this series called Unstuck. It is a book by Kimberly Jones, and we do one of these a day. And this is from 2 Timothy in the Bible, in the New Testament, in the Bible. 2 Timothy 1, that's chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear and timidity, meaning shyness or holding back, but of power, love, and self-discipline. We are born very self-centered to protect our own ego and our rights. And when we're not treated properly, we can feel very much a great offense to that. And self-pity can be the result. We can get sulky and drift off into the corner. I can tell you this, in most of the places I've worked, in the legal field now, I have found that people, my bosses were not coming up to me. I had many that did, but I would say probably in the neighborhood of 75% of my supervising attorneys were not coming up to me and saying everything I did was so wonderful and patting me on the back and constantly lifting me up. I had to understand if I was doing a job correctly or not. If I didn't know in the beginning, which is true of all of us in the beginning, then I would have to ask, like, did I do that correctly? What could have been better? And then the attorneys would realize, oh, they didn't go into the field of being an attorney knowing how to manage people. They just didn't. They went in for a lot of reasons. Okay, and one is love of the law, and that's what, or they loved research. They certainly didn't go in it to be buddy with the clients. Most of them didn't go into it for that. So their giftings are just as different as yours, and 75% in my 34 years of experience we're not in in their mind, they had no clue how to uplift. So I would draw that out of them because I needed to know if I was doing a good job or not. And I had to not be shy about that and not hold back. I needed to know if I was making a mistake doing something. I needed to know if did I just make a mistake? And if I did, how do we fix it? Okay, don't lie. Part of not being shy is not lying and hiding things because you're afraid you're going to get fired. I have many people that say, I'm so afraid of making mistakes. Well, before you go file anything with the court, you can always ask a paralegal to stand, look over your stuff if there's another paralegal in the place. And just look it over real quick. Are you seeing anything that stands out? Because they know you're a beginner. They're not there to teach you every single thing. So part of your gifting, if you are an introvert or in between and you're used to going into a workplace and not making connection with people, that has got to change. That has absolutely got to change. because you've got to build some friendships, and it's a give and take situation, not you taking all the time. How can you help them too? Can you say, let me take you out to lunch because I really appreciate your help and everything? And if they don't want to, at least you offered. But don't be shy. God has gifted you with certain things, and along the way you're going to find out, if you don't know already, what they are. Okay? Mine was definitely mentoring my coworkers who wanted that, and getting them out of trouble if they found that they didn't know something. Not that they were in trouble, but I mean, coming into my office and with their eyes like deer in the headlights. And this is after I'd had many years of experience. And they were, have you ever heard of this? That's what they would ask me. And I said, yeah. And they'd say, really? I had one lady do that. And I said, yeah, let me grab my file, because I had saved that information in my own personal file. So self-centeredness can be a real problem when you're not connecting with other people, and you go into this, and we'll talk about this field, and you're not open to others because maybe you think you're the only one who does things correctly, or you don't want people to know that you don't know how to do something. They already know, okay? Especially when you're a beginner. King Ahab was coveting. He really wanted this garden that this man had, and that's the only thing this guy named Naboth had. This was in 1 Kings 21. And Jezebel, King Ahab's wife, once she heard that King Ahab wanted Naboth's garden, set a plan in motion to get rid of Naboth so King Ahab could have the garden. So let me tell you, after that, King Ahab became powerless, and his entire dynasty was eventually destroyed. We can, for me, sometimes staying in the same law firm when it's not a good place to work on many levels, means that I was going home at night and being very angry. And so I knew something had to change. And my husband, brought it to light by talking to me about it. Like, I was coming into the house actually yelling. I was so wired after getting out of work because I was holding it in all day, and then wired in the car on the drive home. And that is not worth your mental health, your overall happiness, because you're timid about making a decision to leave. My father always said to me, have a job before you leave your job. And that was really good advice. But because we're timid about leaving a job that we know, as we know, is not good for our mental health, our physical health, our career, anything about it, it was time to go. When I had an attorney in the second job I was in scream at me, I knew that's not where I should be, because it would be upsetting to me and I would be waiting for him. He had no right to do that day, and what he screamed about was his own fault. And I took my notes out from that day, that he gave me notes on what to do. And I said, let me read you everything you told me that day. And that's what I was working on. And they all were accomplished. I said, but you never mentioned that. And he apologized. But I knew that was in him, like he was not a happy person. And he eventually left the practice of law, because that's not what he should have been doing. You see, his giftings weren't in that. And I really believe God was taking him out of law altogether. So it's easy to get stuck. That's what this book is about, getting unstuck. And we give excuses that, oh, but I won't know anybody in that job I'm going to. And, what if it doesn't work out? And I've been here for 10 years. And the thing is, are you supposed to be there? See, and you're like, well, how do I know? You have to pray about it. So don't get stuck in the mundane, or it's just a horrible place to work. The job I was in before I went into legal in 1990 was horrible. And if it wasn't for them making my job part-time and changing that, because they didn't need a full-timer as it turned out, I don't know how long it would have been before I left, because I was stuck here mentally. And it was not a good place, yet I was staying there. Why? Because I was afraid of what my family would say, my husband would say, if I left and I wasn't there even a year. Um, I had to understand I was being taken out of that environment for a reason by God. So tomorrow's is important. Tomorrow's day 33. We're going to talk about don't overthink. Pray about whether you should stay or you should go. Those red flags are being consistently shown to you. And as you go into the legal field, are you making excuses as to why you're not jumping and sending your resume and cover letter out? Or when you do, you're not hearing back, it's actual crickets, nobody's answering you, but you're not discovering why they're not answering? You're like, how do I discover that? They're not telling me. Well, they're not seeing in your resume or your cover letter what they need to see. It's not because they're hiring people with just experience. You're either applying to the wrong jobs or you're applying to the right jobs, but your cover letter absolutely does not fit the bill. It stinks. Okay? Now, membership is open on, let's see, what's today? The 24th? 6 days my membership opens. If the only reason you join in is to get the one module, there's 7 or 8 modules, but one module is called the Cover Letter Secrets module. That alone is worth joining the membership. You have got to change how you write your cover letter. Join for a month and then quit. You can go through my whole membership and the videos in there in a month and watch 2 videos a day and take notes. But I suggest you stay in a little bit longer to soak it up, and because there's a private Facebook group just for people who join the membership. There's no pressure in that group. There's additional training there. You need to soak all that up and then jump and go for it, okay? Don't be shy, because we all go in scared and we all go in with 0 experience. Remember that. For God has not given us a spirit of fear and timidity, meaning shyness, but of power and love and self-discipline. So if God hasn't given us the spirit of fear and timidity, shyness, who's given it to us? There's only one other being, and that would be Satan. So now it's time to use the giftings you've been given, to use it for the good of people, okay? For the glory of God, period. And to bless other people with your giftings that you discover along the way. You might not know what they are now, but you're going to find out. So have a great day today. Don't forget to go to paralegalcoffeetalk.com. Look in the description box. The link is there if you forget. Go to the tab Accelerator. That's the membership. Remember that, Accelerator. You'll see it there. Then look under the tab Paralegal Resource Hub, and that is a free hub for you to go sign up, get in. There's no pressure. There's no pressure anywhere. The whole website is for beginners, my beloved beginners. I adore you all as you try. I want to help you all I can as you try to get into this field, okay? You will be successful, but listen to that verse. That's 2 Timothy 1:7. I want you to read that today, okay? Let that soak into your spirit. And look under, go to paralegalcoffeetalk.com. The link is in the description box here. And then look under the tab Legal Break-In Book. That's for beginners. What else is there? Paralegal Resources tab. Look under every tab, Play Detective, because that's what we are as paralegals. When you go search for things, That is exactly what you do. We are detectives. So I'm going to sign off for now. Tomorrow is don't overthink. That's a big one as you go into this field. We're going to have fun discussing that, okay? Have a great day, and I will talk to you in tomorrow's video. Take care. Bye.